Hello again, and a very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you very much for joining our little showcase session here at the memoQ Fest today. My name is Edith Pece, and this is my colleague here, Maria Munoz. And today we would like to show you indeed different possibilities with Plunet for automating translation workflows. Just in case you are not familiar with us, with Plunet, the company, or Plunet, the software, we are a German company. We celebrated the company's 20th birthday actually just last year. And we have around 60 employees who are placed all around the world, from the Americas to Germany to Asia as well. Because the company has been around for quite a long time, we have indeed had the time to make the software Plunet Business Manager very, very detailed, very feature rich. And most recently, our main focus is on workflow automation for the translation industry. And this is what we are going to show you today. The setup that you are going to see today is going to include the standard software, which is Plunet Business Manager, our dynamic integration to memoQ, which is kind of like a connector to memoQ, and a dedicated module to process automation, which is called the Automation Manager. Now, already the memoQ dynamic integration is very powerful in itself when it comes to removing manual tasks, but when it is combined together with a dedicated process automation module, then indeed you can reach a really high degree of automation. Just very briefly before I show you how this all works, you can see like a little representation of how the integration, the dynamic integration between Plunet, which is in the top row, and memoQ in the middle row is working. So through the API, the files that are uploaded in Plunet, perhaps by a project manager or by a customer, they are automatically sent to memoQ where an analysis is run, and the analysis is returned to create a quote or an order in Plunet, which can be then shared with the customer again automatically for approval. Once a quote can go ahead, and jobs are assigned to specific vendors to perform certain steps in the translation workflow. These are also all arranged in Plunet and are programmatically transferred to memoQ. So like a memoQ project is created and vendors are assigned in memoQ as well. These steps are then completed by a row of linguists. And once the linguists deliver in memoQ, this would trigger a chain of events which would then finalize the file, export the file, create a deliverable, and send it directly to the customer. So this is the job of the memoQ dynamic integration, and this would be combined together with the Automation Manager module, which enables this cycle that you can see on the screen now. In the first example that I'm going to show you today, a customer will be requesting a project through the customer portal, which will then be converted into a quote. And between these two steps, all the steps that we looked at on the previous slide will be performed in memoQ, again, without intervention of the project manager. Once the quote is approved by the customer in the customer portal, then it will be automatically converted to an order, and necessary job requests are going to be sent out to our trusted vendor pool. This is all going to be taken care of by the Automation Manager. Here, between these two steps, there is the translation and review steps happening in memoQ. And once the project is finished in memoQ, then again, the automated deliveries will find their way back to the customer. Right, and how does this look in practice? This is exactly what I wanted to show you now. So just in case you are not familiar, this is our Plunet portal, the Business Manager. So I'm just logging in as a customer, and I'm going to create a new request and ask for a quote. In case you haven't seen the Plunet Business Manager so far, you are very welcome just to come to our booth, stop by in one of the breaks. We would be absolutely happy to take a look together with you of what Plunet can do. So, as a customer, as a requester, I am going to ask for a new translation from my service provider. Again, as a customer, I am selecting the services that I need. This is, for the purposes of this example, this is named the fully automated project Roundtrip so that you can see what we are doing. But of course, in a real customer system, this would have like a more intuitive name that the customer can easily understand. I am adding here my delivery date by which I want to receive back my translations and selecting some more additional information that can be relevant for my service provider. This request is into French, and this is a very frequently requested language, so I'm not going to change everything because it's all pre-filled. All I need to do is just actually upload my source content just like that. And if all is looking good, I can still review my request, and it's indeed looking great. So all I need to do is just click on request a quote, and that's it. My job is done. So let me just actually switch very briefly to my dashboard. And at this point, I would like to make you aware of the fact that this is all happening real time. I have uploaded a relatively short text, but indeed my quote for the translation is already there under pending quotes in my dashboard, so I can already take a look. And here at this point, the customer can of course decide to take a look at the details, check out the word count analysis, but this is in line with what they were uploading and the cost range, so all is looking good. So the customer is just going to accept the quote. And again, in the background, the Automation Manager module created a memoQ project, ran the analysis in memoQ, created a quote in Plunet, populated it with the word count, and sent the quote back to the customer portal, which we can see now. So this was indeed all happening real time. Right, and that's it. And this is exactly how it looks. This is how long it takes. You can see that an order has already been created and started. If we want to take a little look behind the curtains, we can do that now. Of course, I would like to quickly say that this is absolutely optional. You can decide if you want the customer to see all of these automatic jobs which are running in the background. And let's just stop for a moment for the Slack notification here as well. I'm going to explain to you in just a second. This is, of course, our choice. If we want the customer to see what is happening in the background, this can be enabled or disabled as you consider that necessary. You can see here that an assignment round was already started and some translators have already been receiving a request for this small job. And what was happening in Slack in the meantime? This is an additional function that we introduced actually not too long ago. This is still a beta feature. This is a new option which is called webhooks, and you can see here that a notification was pushed into another application, which is in this case a communication tool, Slack, just to share the information with relevant teams, with relevant team members, that that a project was created for this particular customer. Just very briefly, webhooks are little packages or pushes of information, in this case a status change, that can be sent to an external application, which can use webhooks and can be connected to Plunet. Right, so let me log out here, and actually, because the vendors have already received um, a job request for this text, let me change now to a vendor's portal, and let me log in as Ellen Miller, our trusted French translator. You can see here that the request is indeed highlighted. Ellen absolutely has the possibility to maybe like download the file itself, take a look at the timeline, which was calculated automatically as well. It's a super short text, so the timeline is not very long, but maybe that's enough. So if Alan has the time, he can just very simply click on accept, maybe add the comment and send the confirmation back to the project manager. As he has already accepted the job, it's indeed it moved to the in progress bucket, and he can just get started straight from here. So the translator can, of course, like open up their own memoQ instance, or just very simply log in to memoQ WebTrans directly from Plunet by clicking on the link. All right. So let's just do exactly that. Alan Miller, the French translator, is logging in, and he is searching for the new job that he received. Exactly, short timeline for just a few words. So let's just quickly translate it. And because we are also using machine translation in this workflow, because we really want to make use of every single automation possibility that we have, what Alan needs to do is just review the machine translated content and confirm it if all looks good. Again, just for the sake of speed, let me assume that the machine translated content is exactly good as it is, and just deliver in memoQ. Now, of course, this will take just a second, just a moment to update the status for the translator as well. And while that is happening, let me change again back to our customer, who is probably already looking at the delivered documents. Again, the internal team got the Slack notification as well that one of the language combinations, one of the jobs, was delivered for this customer at the same time. So again, let me, as the customer already, let me just navigate very quickly, very briefly to my project that I actually sent, I think, less than 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. And you can see that the translated file has already been pushed to the customer. And again, what has been happening in the meantime was an automatic job in Plunet was creating an export of the file from memoQ. It saved it in the job folders in Plunet and then sent this translated text over to the customer so that they can just download from here and take a look at this short text here. All right, so that's it. Our automated project loop is done, and I would like to make you very, very aware of the fact that we have logged in as the customer, we have logged in as the translator, but we have absolutely not logged in as the project manager so far. And the reason for that is that the project manager, as you have seen, has not taken any single step so far. So in this case, what the project manager can actually do is just send the invoice for the job that the system that Plunet was creating for them. Let me see if I can just find quickly, not here, the project that we were completing for this customer. So just again, very briefly, navigating to the project list. And yes, indeed, this is our project here. And what you can see here is that all the statuses have updated indeed. So we are logged in as a project manager. Just to repeat, all the statuses have updated to the actual real status of the job. And in the quick view, you can see that all the automatic jobs, the ones without invoice, I mean, the automatic jobs don't have a cost. So all of them have completed, and the translation has indeed been delivered. This is how it looks in a more detailed view in the job list. You can see that there was indeed a long, long list of automatic jobs that were completed in the meantime, like running the cat tool, checking the plausibility of the deadline that the customer was adding, creating a quote, waiting for approval, creating the order, sending the jobs, and so on, calculating the timelines, and then receiving and sending back, exporting the job, and then sending out the delivery as well. So this is how an automated project loop, a fully automated project loop, would look in the background. Very, very briefly, as we looked at our new feature of the webhooks as well, this is what it would look to create an automatic push of a status change to another application. But of course, there is a wide range of applications that you can connect with Plunet, and not just communication tools. And in case it makes sense for your teams to see when jobs become overdue or assigned, or when orders or requests are created, this is a possibility that you can consider. Right, and I would like to now hand over the word for my colleague Maria. Thank you so much for your attention. And in case you have any questions, please just feel free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Edith. So, hi everyone. Now I'm going to show you another use case. I'm going to create manually a new project from the Project Manager portal, so where we are right now, from an order template to save time. That contains already an workflow template. And I'm going to be using our Automation Manager module and our dynamic memoQ integration as well. So let's create a new order from template, which I have here. And I already have my customer populated. And I will just need to add my order due date. And down here, I have my language combination already selected and the right price list that I want to apply to this project for this customer. And now I'm going to upload my source file in here, the source file for this project under the source folder. So let's upload this one. Perfect. And then I have here my settings for the dynamic integration, where our CAD project template is already selected here, that created in Plunet, that contains already a memoQ project template, all right, with all the settings that I want to apply to this project. So now I'm going to scroll down here. I have my item here, my language combination, and from here we're going to move to the workflow that I already mentioned, that I have my workflow template already inside this order template. So you can see here, I have all of my chain of jobs, so tasks that are part of my Automation Manager model. You can see them here in grayed out. And then once we start the first one, run the cat tool because I want to automate this workflow as a project manager, right? You're going to see how the rest of the jobs are triggered automatically, one after the other. And then my translation job that I have here is going to be assigned directly, automatically to one of my translators. So let's open the first job and then let's start this job. and let's see what happens. So now I'm going to close this job, and as you can see, all the jobs were done after the other, right? And now my translation job is already in progress, and Sarah is taking care of this job. All right, so now imagine that our customer, Bank International, wants to add a new target language to this project. And what we could do now. So we could come back to our order. Oops, this is our process manager. This is a window that shows me what is happening in the background with our dynamic integration with memoQ and with all my workflow, right? You can see it here. So if something is wrong, like something something fails, I can take action as a project manager. So I'm always in control of the projects. So let's close this window and let's add a new target language. So we go up here to my language combination, and I'm going to add a new target language, for example, French. Now I'm going to create my new item. So I have here my new language combination, and then I will just need to rerun the dynamic integration with memoQ, but just for this new target language. So then I will just come up here where I have my settings for the dynamic integration, and I will just select my item, my language combination English into French, and we are going to rerun the dynamic integration with memoQ. Now I can see here my process manager window again, where I can see everything that is happening in the background, and everything seems to be working. So that's great. We can close it. And now I will just come down here and refresh the page, and voila, we have our price for this language combination as well. All right. The last thing I want to show you is that imagine that is in this running project, our customer calls us again and say to us like they want to add a new source file for my language for the language combination English into German, for example. And in this workflow, Sarah, our translator, already started working in this translation job, right? So it's totally possible. We just need to notify first Sarah if we want to assign her to this new job for this new source file. So first of all, I'm going to let her know here in the job list that the new source file is coming, so she's aware. And I can write her a comment here. So let's write, hi, Sarah. Wait. A new source file is going to be added. So she's aware, and I want to assign her to the new one. So I save it. Now you can see the comment in here in the job. Our comment is in here with a timestamp. All right, so she has access already to this comment. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go back to my order, to my project, and imagine that I received this new source file from my customer by email, for example, or they can also do it by the in the customer portal if they use the customer portal. So imagine that I receive it by email, so I'm going to upload it here under the item folder for this language combination. So let's open the source folder, and I'm going to upload a new source file. So this is the new source file, perfect. Now I save it. And then now I want to rerun the dynamic integration, but only to analyze this new source file because the first one is already here. So I will just need to come up here to my settings for the dynamic integration. And then I'm going to uncheck the override existing prices because I don't want to override. I just want to add the new one. So now I save it, and then here I will to just rerun the dynamic integration for my first item, English into German. So now let's do it again. And we have again our process manager window. Everything seems to be working. And then the analysis is already done, which was really fast. And now we go down here again, refresh the page, and we can see the new pricing for this new source file that we just uploaded. And then we have the old one in here. So now we could send the updated cost to our customer if we want to. And then from here, we move again to the workflow. And we are going to create a parallel job here. And then we go to here, present time. And here, because I have, again, my 2 price units that were pulled from the project, and I can just delete the one that was there before. And now I go to the assignment. Then I'm going to add new due date. And now I can assign Sarah again. Perfect. She received a new PO. And now Sarah is taking care of these 2 jobs. So let's see what happens on memoQ side. How does it look like for her? And now she can see here under the memoQ first project that she has these 2 jobs. All right, and then here, then she can, of course, work on them. And we use the pre-translation settings, so everything is already translated. We can just confirm the rows and deliver. Perfect. And this one, the same. Perfect. Delivered. And now it will take a little bit of time to arrive to Plunet, but yeah, due to my target file export, the 2 jobs are going to be exported into Plunet automatically. And the statuses also will be synchronized as well. And then we have here my automatic delivery job that I added here in this workflow template. And this with this job, you can set up the here, choose the settings in the settings here, how you want to deliver the project to, or this language combination to your customer. So we have different options in here. And in this case, I selected via customer portal because they use the customer portal, for example, and yeah, it's really convenient for them to receive it there. So everything seemed to be to work. And well, now this one is still, but it will be delivered soon. So with this, we actually arrived to the end of our session. Thank you so much to all of you for attending. I would love to open now the question in case you want to ask us something, and please let us know. Yeah, we'll come to the booth if you want to. We would be super happy to have a chat with you. So thank you so much.